Hi, everybody. Again, no need for an introduction. Well, actually, in case people did turn up and I wasn't there earlier on or you weren't there earlier on, Chris from CareScribe again, now talking about our second assistive technology, which is TalkType. Now, TalkType is highly accurate, lightning fast dictation software available on all platforms, Windows, Mac, mobile, and web. So exactly the same as our previous software works captioned. It is available as both a browser functionality, also available as a desktop app. And again, on all of those platforms. So it'll work on your Chromebooks, it'll work on your tablets and mobile devices, and it'll work on Windows and Mac machines. So allows you to dictate effortlessly on whichever device you may be using. And on that note, you can literally hop between multiple different devices. So if a student, for example, uses or forgets their laptop on the way into school, college, etc., they can just jump on another machine, sign in with their account, same with captioned, and get going. So it's really flexible and versatile from that perspective. Um, One of the real key features of TalkType is its ability to allow a user to dictate anywhere they want to. And by that, I simply mean being able to dictate into any third-party application where they need to type, whether that is drop-down menus they want to type into, whether that's a document, Word or Google or Teams, it doesn't matter. I'll show you this shortly. Worth noting that in terms of the software's capabilities, I will be really honest and say that there are other, and there's probably a well-known piece of dictation software that exists, and that's Dragon. I'm sure everyone's aware of Dragon. Yeah, I appreciate Dragon is Windows only. So obviously there are some differences there. But one thing that Dragon has, and we don't have, and I'm being very transparent with this, is if you have individuals that have, for example, a motor impairment, or they need essentially to use the power of their voice to control all aspects of their machine, we'll hold our hands up and say, you might want to recommend Dragon in that case. But if you're looking for individuals, and we are finding so many that are just looking for a clean, intuitive, easy to operate tool that supports effective dictation, then you're looking at the right presentation. Aside from being able to dictate, you can have a commands menu, so it's all available. A one-pane view. There's custom words and shortcuts to streamline your workload, especially if you're saying things over and over again. It's a very intuitive UI. Real big seller here is that there is no creating any profiles. There are no training voices to speak a certain way. You can speak as naturally as you want to, and I'll demonstrate that shortly. I mentioned dictating anywhere, and you can actually turn auto punctuation on. Hands up, as a user of dictation software, I'm familiar with punctuating, so I'm fine, and I don't tend to use that feature. Some people might struggle, so therefore you can actually add that. Turn that on and take a bit of pressure off. There are some accessibility features, more around the view of light or dark mode, so you can switch between those. You can increase the font, etc., which we'll come to. And then the last thing to mention is, as I've touched upon, who is it for? It is for a wide range of individuals. I don't have any official diagnosis or trait. I just don't have the capabilities to type at speed. I have red lines everywhere, which stresses me out, and actually adds what could be in some cases, hours to my week. So I dictate 80% of my workload because I just find it easier and I'm more productive as a result. And the last thing to mention here is, our accuracy, and you'll see this in the flesh shortly, is the fact that just like our previous bit of software, and now I can say something else, we have CareScribe Hub. And by that, it allows an organization or users to have access to both bits of software centrally managed in one place for ease of visibility and management and security, etc. Things like SSO and data purging. So that's a whistle-stop tour in terms of all that it offers. Let me go now and show you exactly what it can do. So I will get rid of my floating controls that only I can see. This is me in a browser. So again, I'm a Mac user and I've just chosen to use Chrome. I sign in and this is what I get access to. There are controls up here where I mentioned you can control the font. These are dyslexic friendly fonts. You can control the size very easily. There are formatting options, which again, you can use by saying commands, undo, copy, clear the canvas, and turn auto punctuation on or off. Also worth noting that under preferences, let's just show you this. Light and dark, as I said, or it will simply synchronize with your system. It will work in English UK and English US. In terms of the microphone, again, it will connect into external microphone sources, headsets, for example, AirPods as another one, or just simply use your inbuilt Mac microphone or laptop microphone. As far as formatting is concerned, auto date is one, but number formatting is interesting. We have a lot of users that input into Excel, and therefore when they're saying 1236, it's just inputting that as a number as opposed to the words. And the last one, which always makes people chuckle, is the ability to turn on or off profanity filter. Now, I will say that it's turned on for testing purposes. I don't have a potty mouth, I promise you. If you want me to test it, drop something in the chat and I can prove that it works. Very last thing is documents. So as we start to dictate, it might be that we're suddenly doing a bit of work here on this topic, or we want to create another email over here. So you can easily have these documents stored and you can revisit them, do some more editing, etc., or just simply add another one and start again. Let me show you how this software works. I'll turn the microphone on. Good afternoon. My name is Chris, and I am providing a demonstration of our dictation software. Full stop, new paragraph. Don't panic, everybody, exclamation point. I don't need to speak that way. I can speak at my normal, fairly rapid pace, and the software will handle it absolutely perfectly. Full stop, new paragraph. I mentioned earlier about commands. Let me show you how simple it is to change the font, or let's make it bold. TalkType, bold on. From this point, the font is now in bold. The same logic would apply to either italicize or underline, or turn off. TalkType, bold off. Full stop, new paragraph. Now let's talk about shortcuts. So things that are used maybe frequently and often. I've got to make sure I've got the right ones available here. So I will say full stop, new paragraph, morning team, comma, thanks. I can't remember what I have. Let me show you. And that brings me to my next bit. If I go to my shortcuts, these are, that's what I need to say. New paragraph, big thanks. And what you'll notice here is I've pre-populated. So my trigger word is big thanks and my shortcut is this paragraph here. It works the same if I were to say new paragraph, signature. So that's giving you an idea of the ability to create these shortcuts, providing you know what they are. There is a custom word section. My daughter's name appears there, as well as having the commands available. So in a one-pane view, I'm able to see, what I need to say for it to produce the various different outcomes. That's through to mathematics, currency, to text editing and formatting. I can say all these various commands, as well as navigation around the body of text that you're creating, and then your library documentation. So this is TalkType. This is in the browser. Now, if you're in a browser like this, you don't have the ability to dictate anywhere else. So what you need to do is copy, and then you just paste that into the document or your email or platform of your choosing. Or I can either delete that completely, and I can undo and I can redo all of these bits and pieces. What I want to do, though, is show you what the desktop app does. So it will look exactly the same, right? And I have complete control here over the size and therefore the repositioning of TalkType. Same logic applies. I turn the mic on. However, I have an option here now to dictate anywhere. So I'll just show you how it works. First of all, microphone is now on, so I'm dictating directly into the software itself. Full stop, new paragraph. Tara, new paragraph, signature. Let me now change this to dictate anywhere. Now, immediately I have a thumbnail. So what this means is, again, it's not taking up too much real estate. I can move this wherever I need to. And all I have to do is turn the microphone on and then choose my third-party application of choice to start dictating into. I'll open up another one. Make this a bit smaller so you can see. And now I can effortlessly dictate into my Google Docs document. Full stop. New paragraph. TalkType italics on. So therefore, the commands will still work no matter what third-party application you are using. But if I want to, I can easily switch to another application and then seamlessly transition and start dictating elsewhere. I'm now in my notes platform and I'm now dictating over here. So the real beauty of our software is the ability to, without training your voice, following along a certain pattern of text, creating profiles, turn the microphone on and start to dictate either directly into the software itself or effortlessly in any third-party application you may want to dictate into. Now, there are some exciting new features coming up, similar to what you have seen with our other software. There will be some ability to use a little bit of AI to jazz up, if you like. We're not quite sure on the wording. We don't like the word professionalize, polish, who knows, but you can edit your text that way using a bit of AI. That's coming shortly, as well as other features and benefits. And that's the one great thing about us as a company, is that we do have that flexibility. We're not a conglomerate, so we take feedback on board and we are able to constantly develop and tweak our app. Now, I've got about 3 minutes left. I'm ahead of myself, probably because I'm talking a bit quickly, but that in a nutshell sums up our software. Open this back up if you want to. You've now got the full application again, and you've got various options, various choices. TalkType, really easy to use, really simple, really effective, highly accurate dictation software. I will end there. David, back to you.
Chris, thanks so much. Awesome stuff.